Go unmute.
Okay, hey Joseph, can you hear me over WebEx?
Yeah, I can hear you over WebEx, yes.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay, so it's live right now.
I think we can get started. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. Good thing Katie's here. We missed you, Katie. It is my pleasure to welcome you all very warmly to this 18th graduation ceremony for NOSM University's Dietetic Practicum program. I am Kara Green, the manager of dietetics. So this graduation ceremony is an important occasion. It's the culmination of hard work, the actualization of goals attained, and acknowledgement of successes achieved. Today, our graduates are reflecting on their past achievements and eagerly anticipate the future that lay ahead of them. So here at NOSM University, we are committed to truth and reconciliation, a living practice of listening, learning, and fostering a culture of mutual respect and trust. I was born and raised in Northern Ontario, specifically Thunder Bay, on the traditional territory of Fort William First Nation, which is the Robinson Superior Treaty Territory, and the traditional lands of the Anishinaabeg Nation. I carry with me a deep appreciation for the stories and teachings that have shaped this land long before I arrived. As a child, I was captivated by the legends of Fort William First Nation, such as Nana Bijou, the great sleeping giant that is so prominent in Thunder Bay's landscape, and Green Mantle, a young Indigenous woman who bravely led her enemies over our little Niagara of the North, known as Kakabeka Falls, for anyone who's been to Thunder Bay. And these stories, they weren't just tales to me. They were lessons, warnings, and windows into a worldview that valued courage, wisdom, and the sacredness of the land. But my earliest and most enduring connection to Indigenous storytelling came through two paintings that hung in my family's home. One showed a giant beaver towering over two tiny men, a visual echo of an ancient Ojibwe legend. The other depicted a frog, mid-mischief, extracting a piece of chewing tobacco from its belly. A humorous, weird, but apparently true oral story, as the artist wrote on the back of the painting. So these paintings were actually a gift from my uncle, who worked as a guard at the Kenora Jail in northwestern Ontario back in the 1970s. During that time, he met an inmate, a man who was an exceptional artist. My uncle supported his craft by purchasing painting supplies for the studio that the jail actually gave to him so he could continue painting while incarcerated. In return, the man gave my uncle several of his paintings. It was a simple exchange, kindness for creativity, but it left a lasting impression on me. Years later, when my parents considered selling the paintings due to their much higher value, I mentioned it to an Indigenous client of mine, and he gently cautioned me. He said, you know, it's a wonderful gift to receive something from an Indigenous person. It's bad luck to give it away. So the wisdom stayed with me, and I told my parents, and they agreed. The paintings weren't just art. They were gifts, they were stories, they were teachings, and so they gave them to me. Now, the artist behind those paintings was none other than Norval Morisseau, the grandfather of the Woodland School of Art, a visionary, a storyteller, a man who, despite being warned by his elders not to share sacred stories, chose to paint them anyway. He believed that sharing these stories was a way to preserve them, to teach others, and to spark dialogue about the impact of settlers on Indigenous people. And while there were consequences, some of you may know about the forgeries and controversy, I, for one, am grateful that he did this. So because through his art, I learned to listen, I learned to wonder, and I learned that reconciliation begins not with answers, but with stories, and the courage to share them. So today, as we celebrate the achievements of our graduates, I invite us all to reflect on the stories we carry, the ones we inherit, and the ones we choose to pass on. May we do so with humility, with gratitude, a little bit of humor, and a commitment to walk together in truth, in respect, and in reconciliation. Miigwech. So thank you, everyone, for attending today's celebration to congratulate the 8 learners who have successfully completed the program. I would also like to welcome family, friends, and preceptors that are joining us today through the live webcast. So joining me to deliver this ceremony today are Dr. Céline Leverrier, sorry, my mouth is getting dry,
All good.
our Provost and Vice President Academic of NOSM, Denise Raftis, our Dietetic Practicum Lead, Laura Bjorkland, our Site Coordinator from Sault Ste. Marie. So to begin our celebration, it is my pleasure to introduce NOSM University's new President, Vice Chancellor, Dean, and CEO, Dr. Michael Green, no relation. He's going to say a few words to our graduates. Now, Dr. Green is unable to join us today in person, so he prepared a recording of his message. He's going to come up and help me with that.
Hello, bonjour, Annie, bonjour. My name is Dr. Mike Green, and I'm the President and Dean of NOSM University. Je suis Dr. Mike Green, Recteur et Doyen de l'Université de l'Emno. I'm honored to offer my heartfelt congratulations to each of you graduating from NOSM University's Dietetic Practicum program today. Completing this program is no small feat, and today marks an important step toward becoming registered dietitians. Your commitment, compassion, and perseverance have brought you here, and they will serve you well as you move forward in a profession that plays such a critical role in supporting the health and wellness of Northerners. Registered dietitians are trusted experts in food and nutrition who help individuals and communities thrive, a message I've heard on my community tours recently. From chronic disease prevention to food security and culturally appropriate care, your work makes a measurable difference. The skills you've gained will make a lasting impact in our communities. I'd also like to thank the incredible staff and preceptors across the region who have guided and supported you every step of the way. Your mentorship is invaluable. We are so proud of what you've accomplished, and we warmly welcome you to the profession. Sorry I wasn't able to be with you in person today. Félicitations, congratulations.
Wonderful, thank you. I now have the pleasure to welcome our Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Céline Leverrier, who will give the graduate address.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kara.
Good afternoon, bon après-midi à tous. I'm really pleased to be here with the Dietetic Practicum program graduates, their family and friends, and also NOSM University DPP leaders and preceptors. This program recently obtained full accreditation from Equal, which is Accreditation Canada's specialized health professional education accreditation program that helps health professions programs and their higher education institutions, in this case NOSM University, deliver quality education. Today, we mark a total of 215 dietetic learners who have successfully completed their practicum with NOSM University since 2007. Close to 60% of our graduates remain in Northern Ontario, practicing dietetics, and over 40% are preceptors in the program. The success of this program is a testament to the excellence of the program staff, the preceptors, and the dietetic learners. And I want to take a moment to thank Kara, Denise, the DPP staff, and the dedicated preceptors for their unwavering dedication to the program and to the learners. Since becoming provost at NOSM University in early 2023, I've been amazed to see the progress and changes that the DPP program has experienced in the course of 18 years, including the changes in evidence around food and health recommendations related to diet and nutrition. Graduates, with your guidance and advice as dietitians, you will empower people and communities to embrace, understand, and enjoy food. As a regulated health professional, you will translate the science of nutrition in terms everyone can understand, earning trust and building credibility as you support individuals and communities in making informed decisions for healthy living. At a time where food security is a pressing concern in many Northern Ontario communities and globally, access to healthy food, along with the knowledge of its importance to overall health and well-being, is essential. Graduates, you've had firsthand experience addressing these issues as learners. You are now well positioned to take on this significant public health issue, where 1 in 5 Northern Ontario households do not have enough money to buy sufficient nutritious food. And so, whether you're working individually with patients, in a clinical or community setting, in public health, administration or government roles, advocate for this basic human right. The Dietetic Practicum program is a positive example of how NOSM University values interprofessional teams of healthcare providers dedicated to the care of our peoples and communities. Graduates, by working alongside future physicians and other healthcare professionals, you have learned more about each other's roles to serve the health needs of our populations, including medical nutrition care, food insecurity, and the role of food and nutrition in health promotion and disease prevention and management. Most importantly, you have demonstrated the enormous value of the registered dietitian on the healthcare team. Graduates, your role as an allied health professional will always be evolving. You have chosen a career that will forever offer lifelong learning opportunities and drive knowledge that will inform the health of Northerners. This is a privilege. I wish you all the very best in your careers, and I encourage you to seek opportunities to mentor dietetic learners in the future. For the moment, celebrate your achievement with each other and with your family and friends. Congratulations, félicitations.
Thank you, Dr. Lervier. So I would now like to introduce our guest speaker, Erica Dubois, who is a registered dietitian and valued DPP alumnus and preceptor. Welcome, Erica.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lauriviere. Hello, everybody, and thank you for the warm welcome. I want to sincerely thank this year's graduates for inviting me to speak today. It's a real honor to be here, and I'd also like to thank Kara, Denise, and the team at NOSM for organizing this ceremony and for the important role you play in celebrating and supporting the accomplishments of today's graduates. To introduce myself, my name is Erica, and I'm one of the inpatient dietitians at Health Sciences North here in Sudbury. And just 4 short years ago, I was sitting exactly where you are now, feeling that same nervous excitement about the possibilities to come. So I want to begin by saying something very simple but very important. Congratulations. This is the culmination of years of hard work, all the way back from high school to university to stepping foot on the NOSM campus for orientation week just last fall. This honor represents the countless hours of practicum, the late nights spent working on your research projects, and the weekends spent preparing for upcoming rotations. And with every competency that you met, you also demonstrated your resiliency, adaptability, and growth. You gained something even more valuable than your credential. You proved to yourself that you could do it. With the conclusion of your practicum program, you have the next hurdle to overcome, your first year of practice. I will be honest with you, the first year is a bit of a learning curve. There will be moments of doubt, moments of confusion, and moments of growth. Rest assured, it's all part of the process. I remember sitting in my first office at my first job as a dietitian, and the realization slowly creeping in that I had a lot of responsibility. People were actually looking to me for answers. Physicians, nurses, clients, families, and they were all expecting me to know what to do, what to say, and how to help. It was humbling in many ways, but it was also incredibly affirming. Because even when I didn't have the answers, and I still don't, I knew that I had the tools to find them. So I'm here to reassure you that if this experience taught you nothing else, it prepared you to learn. None of us, no matter how long we've been practicing, will ever know everything, and we shouldn't pretend to. What matters is that we remain curious, honest, and committed to seeking out knowledge, whether it's through research, mentorship, reflection, or collaboration. The skill that I hope this program instilled in you is how to recognize your gaps in knowledge, fill those gaps, and then translate that knowledge for your clients. It's okay to not have all the answers as long as you never stop seeking them. And in your first year, reflective practice is going to be your best friend. I like to admit to all my students that it took me almost a full year to feel actually comfortable speaking to clients. You're going to have client encounters that leave you feeling proud and others that leave you questioning yourself. Not every interaction will go perfectly. There will be clients whose needs you can't quite meet, no matter how hard you try, because the fit just isn't right. And those challenging clients and difficult situations are what are going to make you a better clinician if you let them. I recommend that you take a deep breath and remember to ask yourself whether you could have improved your practice in any way. Reflect on it, grow from it, and then let it go. In your practice, I also urge you to be as empathetic as possible. In our standard healthcare paradigm, people are not usually seeing you because they want to be seeing you. People are often under immense stress, whether it is physical pain, financial stress, burnout, or even healthcare anxiety. And it is easy to pass judgment, but showing a client empathy for their situation will allow you to build better relationships with your clients and address the core of their issues. My next piece of advice is to say yes as often as possible. Take opportunities as often as they are offered to you. Whether it's joining a committee, working on a project, giving a presentation, or mentoring a student, you never know what connections you will foster or what skills you may learn. The entire program has been one new challenge after another, and you've conquered each one and come out with stronger skills and more confidence on the other side. Trust that saying yes to new challenges will help you continue to grow as you move through your career. I want to remind you all that your path does not have to look like anyone else's. We need all of you and all your varied passions and interests. Within my first year of practice, I had jobs in acute care, long-term care, and outpatient settings. I left what looked like a really amazing job on paper because it wasn't helping me work towards my long-term goals that I had for my career. Don't be afraid to try a variety of practice settings. Understanding how different settings along a client's continuum of care function will only help you to set your clients up for success. It'll help you understand your strengths and your areas of interest as well. I encourage you to set your goals high and continue to take steps towards them wherever your path may lead. And to close out this speech, I'm also going to urge you to continue to be a champion for our profession and for this program. When you go out into the workforce, remind people how valuable it is to train in Northern Ontario. We are able to work to the full capacity of our scope of practice, and we often do it with less resources. The adaptability, flexibility, and creativity that this fosters will continue to set our graduates apart. It is more important than ever for your voice to be heard. So please continue to advocate for your clients, for our profession, and for our communities in Northern Ontario. And with your graduation, I want to remind you that you are not alone. If you look around this room, everyone here is cheering you on through your first year. If you have any questions, everyone you met during this journey would be happy to answer them. So please never be afraid to ask. From one NOSM DPP alum to another, welcome to being a dietitian. We are so happy to have you. We will now begin the certificate presentation portion of our ceremony. So I will turn it back over to Kara.
Are you crying?
Not yet.
That was great advice, Erica. Denise trained her. Oh, that was so nice. That was wonderful. Okay, you're going to say a little, and I'm going to stand over here. Actually, no, I'm going to do this. Okay, yeah, you're going to go first, and I'm going to announce your name. Excellent. I'll hand them over to you over here. How's that?
Let me
Okay.
just reposition.
Yes.
1 second.
So learners, I'm going to announce you up one by one. I think Denise did a little test with you. There's a spot on the board for you to stand. We're okay, right? Shake Denise's hand, and our photographer at the back is going to take a photo of you, and probably your family might want a photo as well. So our first learner we're going to do Sudbury first is Catherine Rondina. Woo. Sarah Mackey. Hallie Nickel. And Mackenzie Galutson.
Now we're going to move on to those from Thunder Bay. And first, Danielle Charles. And finally, we'd like to call up Caitlin Frampton.
Thanks, Kristen. So it is now my pleasure to give the program address today. The DPP, as you've been learning, is a very special program. It connects over 300 registered dietitians across the vast geography of Northern Ontario. NOSM University staff, preceptors, and the team work together to build a robust practice of dietetics for the North, while also educating and training our next generation of registered dietitians. So thank you to Drs. Green, Lariviere, Ravenick, the Health Sciences Unit, and the DPP team for making the success of this program possible. To our remarkable preceptors, thank you for your hard work and ongoing dedication to training our dietetic learners. Now, every year, Denise and I are deeply impressed by the resilience and commitment of our learners. A Dietetic Practicum program is not easy. Learners must navigate the challenging transition from academia to the professional working world in just 46 weeks of full-time training. The program demands the development of advanced knowledge, skill, and judgment, all essential to becoming successful food and nutrition professionals. And it is professionalism that sets our graduates apart. This year, you demonstrated the grit, tenacity, and dedication that define not only your success in the program, but your future as registered dietitians. These traits are the foundation of your professional identity, and they will serve you well in every step of your career. Denise and I were proud, always so proud, to witness the grace with which you handled the ups and downs, the constant constructive feedback, personal and academic challenges, setbacks, and the development of new and rewarding relationships. You took the tools we provided and built new identities as healthcare professionals. You are ready to be clinical dietitians, diabetes educators, population health professionals, or food service administrators. As you close this chapter of your dietetics journey, please remember this is only the beginning of your education. You will always need new tools to keep moving forward. Continue embracing knowledge and opportunities to learn with an open mind. As Denise always says, be a sponge. Another lesson, embrace the gift of being a registered dietitian. Your career revolves around food, something not only nourishing and delicious, but also deeply connective. You are granted entry into an intimate part of people's lives, their relationship with food. Whether working with individuals or communities, every food story reflects where someone has come from, what they've experienced, and where they're going. Use this privilege to support their journey with compassion and without bias. And remember, you are the Canadian experts in food and nutrition. Patients, physicians, nurses, administrators, and the public will look to you for evidence-based knowledge and skill in food and nutrition. This is a powerful position. You will make a difference.
whether it's reassuring a newly diagnosed diabetic that he can still enjoy his favorite chocolate bar, or minimizing a nutrient loss through intravenous feeding, or even developing a food policy that will improve access to food for an entire community. Your work matters because everyone needs to eat. And as you consider your future and the many opportunities ahead, I leave you with advice from the great comedian Jerry Seinfeld. Do not follow your passion, because passion fades and it makes your coworkers a little uncomfortable. Instead, follow what fascinates you. Never forget your fascination with food, nutrition, and human health. It will energize you, inspire you, and guide you through challenges and new directions. You will never be bored and always rewarded. So graduates, I officially welcome you to the profession of dietetics. You are deserving of the important positions you now hold and the accolades for your accomplishments. You are now a part of our Northern Ontario community and now part of Northern Ontario dietetics and healthcare community. So no matter where you choose to practice, you will always be welcome here. Please join me in a round of applause to congratulate our 8 exceptional graduates. Okay, I'm now pleased to invite Katie Frampton and Sarah Mackey to offer the learner address. Welcome up, ladies. Okay. My heart's beating so fast out here.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special day. Katie and I are honored to be speaking on behalf of the DPP class of 2025. Originally, we pitched doing this speech together to bring both an Eastern and a Western Northern Ontario perspective, but really I just needed some moral support out here, because if I stood up here alone, I would probably be a blubbering mess, and so nobody needs to see that.
So this year has been intense, unforgettable, and just the right amount of chaotic. Some of us packed up our lives and moved across the country. Others returned to our communities that shaped us. We came from different backgrounds, different stories, but shared one goal: to become registered dietitians. For some of us, that path was clear. For others, well, let's just say there were detours. Some applied to multiple programs. Some took a casual 7 years of academia to figure it out, but we made it.
Despite being scattered across Northern Ontario, we found connection. This group, these incredible women, are some of the kindest, most supportive people I've ever met. Woo! Oh my gosh, 1 second. This year, life definitely put that to test. I navigated long distance with my partner. I lost my grandfather. I went through some other scary thing, medical situation with my sister. And I know I wasn't the only one facing personal challenges this year, because life doesn't put a pause for internship, unfortunately. But what I wanted to do with this speech was highlight how every single one of you showed up for me and for each other, even when we were all in the trenches and overwhelmed and probably surviving off of caffeine and adrenaline. You still checked in and you still cared. And that's what tells me that we are all going to be phenomenal healthcare professionals. You didn't just care about getting through the program, you cared about the people. And for that, I thank you. This year tested us. Long days in placement, endless charting, PES statements that made us question our sanity, and complex care cases that felt a little bit like nutritional Sudoku. But somehow we still managed to live. We cheered on hometown hockey teams in full-blown snowstorms. We walked off stress and maybe a few tears with ice cream. We hit up workout classes that doubled as therapy, and we made lots of memories. like when we took para skating, and it was more just a group balancing act than skating, but it was still really fun. Or when we got to endure the comedic stylings of our private chef at Kitchen Bits, who roasted us better than the vegetables. One thing my preceptors kept reminding me this year was you can't pour from an empty cup. And we can't give 100% to our patients, our colleagues, and families if we're running on empty. So learning to find that balance wasn't just helpful, but it was necessary.
And sometimes balance looked like camping in Maze with Danielle and the Sioux girls and a torrential downpour, wondering if we were going to survive the night. We learned a lot this year. We pushed outside of our comfort zones. We rotated from ICU to community to med-surg to rehab, sometimes traveling hours between placements. We met preceptors who were not just experts, but deeply kind and committed to teaching. And how could we forget our brave wilderness warriors, Mackenzie, Hallie, and Danielle, who survived the Killarney backcountry. Honestly, the fact you made it out alive is nothing short of a miracle. We salute you and respectfully recommend you bring a GPS next time. Across the north, from Kenora to Timmins, we were welcomed into communities that opened their doors and their hearts. Danielle and I were lucky enough to experience a cultural placement where we made ribbon skirts and beaded lanyards and participated in smudging, and traveled to rural and remote reserves to learn and provide care. These moments taught us more than a textbook ever could.
Of course, none of us got here alone. To our families and friends, supporters, whether you're here in person or watching via live stream in your pajamas, we see you, we appreciate you, and we love you.
To those who are no longer with us, but forever in our hearts, we carry you, your love and your strength with us today and always.
To our preceptors, thank you. Your patience, encouragement, and unwavering belief in us meant everything. Especially when you had no idea what we were doing, but you smiled and nodded like you agreed to teach. You made our learning meaningful, and we're grateful beyond words. To Kara, to Denise, to Laura, to the entire DPP staff, and everyone who kept us afloat this year, thank you. You held the net while we learned to fly. We truly could not have done this without you. You believed in us before we truly believed in ourselves.
And finally, to the class of 2025, congratulations, we did it. And if nothing else, we can confidently say we now know the difference between a nutrition diagnosis and a personal crisis. Most of us. Thank you. Woo!
Oh, thank you, Katie and Sarah. Very well done. Denise is still crying. Oh gosh. So that concludes our ceremony today. Thank you everyone for attending our celebration. Denise and I want to give a special thank you to the advancement team for providing our learners with some graduation gifts that are in another room. We've got them to you. To the communications and the IT team for running the logistics of this event. As well to Bethany, Dana, Jenny, and Mike for helping with today's event. So congratulations again to all of the learners on your successful completion of the program. There are refreshments just across the hall in the beautiful Arcan Center. If the learners and your families could kindly stay to participate and take in some celebratory photos, we'd really appreciate it. So. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.